Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and our ranking member, Senator Burr. I want to thank all of the witnesses as well for joining us today for a really important conversation on how we can best support workers who are unemployed, underemployed, or who have fallen out of the labor force. And before I start with questions, Madam Chair, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record this statement from the Society of Human Resource Managers about the importance of employer-provided education assistance.
Without objection.
Thank you. Ms. Flynn, I'd like to start with a question to you. Good morning. A workforce strategy I have long supported, first as governor of New Hampshire and now in the Senate, are career pathways programs, and we've certainly talked about those a bit this morning. These programs engage workers who have fallen out of the labor force or to make progress in their career through industry partnerships with higher education so participants can receive educational credentials while also earning an income. I recently reintroduced the Gateway to Careers Act with Senators Young, Kane, and Collins. That's a bipartisan bill to expand career pathways as well as provide wraparound supports for learners who face barriers to completion, supports like help in accessing affordable housing or covering transportation costs. Do you agree that supporting career pathways is an important investment to help our most vulnerable workers re-enter or advance in the workforce?
Thank you, Senator. I wholeheartedly agree with that. At Jobs for the Future, we have been supporters of career pathways now for several decades, and we're proud to support the bill that you mentioned. I think that particularly now as we recover from the pandemic, really ensuring that the individuals, the workers who have been left behind really have that comprehensive set of supports to help them move back into the labor market and along a career pathway to economic self-sufficiency. So I think it's really critical. We have been involved over the years in helping to replicate the IBEST program in Senator Murray's home state of Washington, really looking at how to help low-wage, low-skill workers get on that path to economic advancement. So very much so.
Well, thank you for that. I now have a question to all four of our witnesses, and I'm just going to read it and then go in order here. I often hear from employers that they struggle to find the workers that they need to hire for openings, and certainly Mr. Mendoza has spoken to that this morning. Some of these employers have successfully engaged with community colleges and our state workforce system in New Hampshire to build workforce pipelines to actively recruit and train workers, including through career pathway programs like the ones we just discussed. So to each of you, how important is it for employers to be involved with the development of workforce and education programs to ensure that individuals who complete a program have local job opportunities? And can you speak to how best to do this? And I'll start with Ms. Flynn and then go to Dr. Rawls, and then we'll go to our two witnesses who are with us remotely.
I would say it is absolutely critical to have employers deeply involved in the system and to help really co-design the solutions that are being put in place. You know, a lot of that activity obviously needs to happen kind of at the regional labor market level. But I feel that as we look at future policy change and legislation, finding ways to make that engagement easier for employers, I think is really key, particularly large-scale employers who are trying to engage, community after community. How can we help to streamline that process for them? How can we also be looking at feedback loops where employers can more easily provide their feedback to community colleges and other training providers on, kind of the quality of the skills that they're seeing in the graduates?
Well, thank you. Dr. Rawls?
It's absolutely vital because the employers have to set our targets and we have to hit those targets. And if we don't, then it means that our students don't have the opportunity for the economic prosperity which they come to us for. So it's absolutely vital.
Thank you. Mr. Mendoza, would you like to address this?
Yes, thank you very much, Senator. Employers have to be flexible also and willing to think outside of the box. And that means being willing to accommodate different pathways and different interests that people have. And that's something that has been really important to Optimax as far as taking the non-traditional pathway. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So as an organization, we have to be willing to incorporate multiple different types of people and disciplines within this type of infrastructure.
Thank you very much. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I absolutely agree that employer input is vital.
After all, with any of the training, whether it's career pathways or other structured programs, employers are really the validators of the rigor of those programs because this will be their workforce. And so it's critical for us to position ourselves to be flexible so when employers provide that input, we can co-design and co-architect programs that are meaningful to employers for a workforce, not just for today, but for the future as well.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Madam Chair.